Dear students, in continuation with the previous lecture of human male reproductive system, today in this lecture we are to study transverse section of penis, and second we will study about the male accessory sex glands. Though as such we have studied about the penis, let us see how this structure looks like when we cut the transverse section of the penis. This is the skin. I told you there are three erectile tissues which are responsible for the erection of the penis during sexual arousal or sexual intercourse, or we call it coitus. And these erectile tissues are of two types. One is corpora cavernosa. They are two in number. They are present on the dorsal side. And one is corpus spongiosum, which is present on the ventral side. These are the corpora cavernosa, and this is the corpus spongiosum, because it is single, that's we call it corpus spongiosum. This is corpora cavernosa. These two tissues, that is corpora cavernosa, they are present on the dorsal side. And the one that is corpus spongiosum, it is present on the ventral side. This layer, the outer is erectile tissues, that is called tunica albuginea. It is the fibrous connective tissue, fibrous connective tissue. Inside the tunica, inside the corpora cavernosa and corpus spongiosum, there are present blood sinuses. These are the blood sinuses. These are filled with blood. Here also these are known as the blood sinuses. Blood sinuses with blood vessels. With blood vessels. Moreover, inside the corpus spongiosum, the structure called the penile urethra. This is the penile urethra. very, very important structure. This is called penile urethra. Here there is the connective tissue. This is the connective tissue. Again, there are two types of erectile tissue, total 3 erectile tissue. The erectile tissue called the corpora cavernosa, which are 2 in number, they are present on the dorsal side of the penis. These erectile tissues, they contain blood sinuses with blood vessels. I told you that during sexual arousal or during coitus or sexual intercourse, blood rushes into the penis. Where does it rush? In these erectile tissues. And rushing of the blood, that is the flow of blood, is due to nitric oxide signaling. I told you, nitric oxide signaling is responsible for the erection of the penis. And when erection of the penis occurs, then there is ejaculation of the sperms in the vagina of the female. I told you in the previous lecture that erection of penis, is under the control of parasympathetic nervous system, and ejaculation of semen from the penis is under the control of sympathetic autonomous nervous system or nervous system. Again, erection of the penis. Let us say first that the blood, this corpus spongiosum is much more vascular, is highly vascular as compared to the corpora cavernosa. Now this erection of the penis occurs due to the rush of blood in the erectile tissue due to the presence of a large number of blood vessels. And erection of penis is under the control of parasympathetic nervous system. Very important question. Ejaculation of the semen is under the control of sympathetic nervous system. You have to remember this. And now I told you about the glans penis. It is very sensitive portion. It is the tip of the penis. And then I told you about the prepuce or the foreskin. The glans penis is covered over by foreskin. Now one thing I want to explain it. What is circumcision? Circumcision. Glans penis is connected with the foreskin by means of a small tissue that is called frenulum. Frenulum is a small tissue which connects the glans penis with the prepuce. And in circumcision, this frenulum as well as the foreskin are removed surgically. Frenulum plus foreskin removed. They are removed surgically. Removed surgically after a few days of birth. It protects from the infection of the urinary tract. Infection of the urinary tract. Number 2, cancer of the penis. Number 3, sexually transmitted diseases. It must be mentioned over here that penis carries both urine and semen in case of the human males. This is, we can write it TS penis. This ejaculation, forceful expulsion of the semen, erection, this is all due to the erectile tissue. That the blood, these erectile tissue, the blood vessels get engrossed with blood. Students, now we come to the sex glands. Sex glands or male accessory sex glands. We already know about it. I told you, one is the seminal vesicles. Second is the prostate gland, largest gland, prostate gland. And third is the Cooper's oblique bulbourethral glands. These are 2 in number, 1 pair. We have already done it. This is 1 single, and this is also 1 pair. These, because they are glands, they have to secrete something. The secretions of these glands is known as seminal, collectively known as seminal plasma. Then these secretions plus sperms, we call it semen. Now you just understand about the position of these glands. We have already drawn one diagram. We know this is the urinary bladder. And these are the, let us make it over here, seminal vesicles. This is the duct of the seminal vesicles, and this is the duct of the other seminal vesicles. This is the duct. I am making only of one side. Now this is the vas deferens. This is the ampulla, you know it already, ampulla. Now the duct, that is the vas deferens, and the duct of the seminal vesicles, they collectively form this one, they collectively form this one. They collectively form what? The ejaculatory duct. Ejaculatory duct. Again, vas deferens and the seminal vesicles duct, they combine with each other to form a duct, that is ejaculatory duct. Here also there is ejaculatory duct. Here also. It means there are two ejaculatory ducts because there are two vasa deferentia, because there are two seminal vesicles. This is called the ejaculatory duct. This ejaculatory duct here there is, it is continuous with the vasa deferentia, ejaculatory duct. This ejaculatory duct is continuous. Then this is called the prostate gland at the base of the urine. This is urinary bladder, prostate gland, and this is the seminal vesicle. And then it comes into the another gland, which is the smallest gland, and this gland is known as the Cooper's gland. Or bulbourethral gland. Again, there are two seminal vesicles. This is seminal vesicle and two collectively seminal vesicles. The vas deferens opens into the duct of the seminal vesicle and they form a collective duct, which is called the ejaculatory duct. Duct means a small tube like. This is called ejaculatory duct. One ejaculatory duct is on this side also. Then they are continuous with the prostate gland. And you know this urethra is called prostate urethra. Prostate urethra. And this is called membranous urethra. Urethra. Then there will be penile urethra, which lies in the penis. This gland is the largest gland. This. And this gland is the smallest gland. This. These are two in number. One is this, then this. And these two are the sac-like structures, which are called seminal vesicles. Now let us discuss them one by one. Number one, seminal vesicles. One pair located on the posterior inferior side of urinary bladder, or we can say these two glands lie between urinary bladder and rectum. They secrete a transparent an alkaline secretion, Remember, it is alkaline, secrete an alkaline secretion. Alkaline, the pH is 7.2 to 7.4. All secretions are alkaline. And this secretion, alkaline secretion, which is transparent and jelly-like. Again, one pair located between the urinary bladder and the rectum, or we can say on the posterior side of the urinary bladder, they secrete alkaline secretion which is transparent and jelly-like. Now, fourth point, very important. The secretion of the seminal vesicles contains fructose, prostaglandins, and clotting factors. Like plasminogen, fibrinogen, these clotting factors must not be confused with the clotting factors present in the blood. There are 13 clotting factors which are present in the blood. You know it. We have already discussed it. That factor number 6 is absent. These are not those clotting factors. These clotting factors are those which clot the semen. Now let us see what is the function of fructose. Fructose provides nutrition to the sperms. Nutrition, energy to sperm. This is fructose. Remember one thing, fructose in the human body is present only in the secretions of the seminal vesicles. Otherwise, fructose is not present anywhere in the body. Therefore, fructose is also used as forensic test. Forensic test. What is forensic test? These are the legal proceedings. Suppose a woman has been raped, then how will we confirm the rape? That legal test, that is forensic test, is done. If that secretions in the vagina of the female contain fructose, it means it confirms rape test. It confirms the rape. In other words, we can say that the presence of the fructose is the confirmatory test that rape has occurred, rape has taken place. Now coming to the prostaglandins. Prostaglandins, what they do? Prostaglandins increase the contractions of the female genital tract, that is uterus, and also motility of the sperms. Sperms become more motile, and it is done by prostaglandins. Let us write it. prostaglandins induce the contractions of the female genital tract when the sperms have reached the female genital tract. The motility of the sperms is also increased. Number third, we rotate the clotting factors. These clotting factors, clotting proteins, they clot the semen, clot semen. Why there is clotting of the semen in the males? If semen is clotted, if the clotting of the semen has taken place, it means motility has been decreased. Motility decreased. If motility decreased, it means energy is conserved. Energy conserved. Because I told you, till the vasa frantia, there is no motility of the sperms at its own. Lot of seminal fluid is lot of fluid from the seminiferous tubules is secreted, and in the epididymis they become a little bit motile, and then here they become 100% motile, energetic, only in the female genital tract. Got it? First I told you fructose. Fructose is the forensic test. It confirms rape, legal proceedings. Fructose otherwise not present anywhere in the body. That is present only in the secretions of the seminal vesicles of the male. Then prostaglandins. They induce contractions of the female genital tract when the sperms enter. And these clotting factors, I told you, like plasminogen, fibrinogen, and they are not those clotting factors which are present in the blood. They clot the semen. Motility decreased, and it means energy conserved. Students, remember that the secretions of the seminal vesicles, they form about 60 to 70% of total semen, of total semen or semen plasma. And this 60 to 70% part is that of the secretions of the seminal vesicles. Number two, we come to the prostate gland. You can see it in the diagram. That is one prostate gland, largest gland present at the base of the urinary bladder. One single largest gland, accessory gland, then located at the base of urinary bladder and covers this penile urethra and covers the prostate urethra. This is the prostate urethra that we made it here. There is prostate urethra, this one. Its secretion is milky jelly like, alkaline, same pH 7.2 to 7.4. Then the secretion of the prostate gland contains what? There is present calcium, there is present bicarbonate, there are present anti-clotting enzymes like fibrinolysins. It contains calcium, it contains bicarbonate, it contains anticoagulating enzymes, it also contains lipids, it also contains albumin protein, citric acid is also present. All this calcium, bicarbonates, anti-clotting enzymes, like fibrinolysins. The main function which we are to do, that is fibrinolysins. Clotting of the semen was carried out by clotting factors present in the secretion of the seminal vesicles. Now what the fibrinolysin will do? It will break the clot, breaking of clot of semen, lysis, lysins means lysis. This will break because now we are to increase the motility of the sperms. And the secretions of the prostate gland, they provide nutrition to the sperms and also increase the motility of the sperms The secretion of the prostate gland, it forms about 25% of the total semen. Provide nutrition to the sperms and also increase their motility. Students, now we come to the third gland, that is Cooper's gland. Glands or bulbourethral glands. These glands are two in number, paired. They are present below the prostate gland. Membranous urethra passes through those glands. Let us write it. One pair, size pea seed. Third, around the membranous urethra, located, it is location, located. Its secretion alkaline, transparent, jelly-like, alkaline, pH 7.2 to 7.4. What does it do? It lubricates the penis, lubricates the penis. Again, these are Cooper's glands, one pair, size that of the pea seed. They are located around the membranous urethra, below the prostate gland, and smallest gland. Its secretion is alkaline, that is transparent, jelly-like. pH is 7.2 to 7.4, and it lubricates the penis. This lubrication of the penis is done by mucus secreted by these glands. The secretion of the Cooper's gland contains a large number of spermatozoa. This is the reason for the failure of the withdrawal method of contraception, because a lot of sperms are there in the secretion of the Cooper's gland. Now, one thing more. We have told that the secretions of all the three types of glands are alkaline in nature. What is the function of that alkalinity? It is alkaline. What does it? The alkaline nature of various secretions of sex glands neutralizes the acidity of male urethra, because urine is acidic, male urethra, and also of the female genital tract. The alkaline nature of the various secretions of the sex glands neutralizes the acidity of the male urethra and acidity of the female genital tract also. The secretions of the Cooper's glands form only 5 to 7% of the total semen. It means semen is equal to, I have already told you, sperms plus secretions of sex glands of all the three glands. 60 to 70% part is of the seminal secretions, seminal vesicle secretions, and 25 to 30 that of the prostate gland, and 5 to 7% of the Cooper's gland. One more important, I have already told you in the seminal vesicles, prostaglandins. Those prostaglandins, they induce the contractions of the female genital tract and help the sperm to move forward so that the sperm is able to meet the egg. Thank you very much.